What's up, everybody? It's Danny again, and I have a combined message for both the Jewish community and the wider community of New York. So I just want to expose the fact that, and this is my own findings, this is my own interpretation. I'm not writing this in stone and I'm not swearing to this, but this is from the pattern that I've been seeing. Andrew Cuomo seems to have teamed up with AIPAC or other pro-Israel social media influences to push Cuomo and to push this idea that Jews will be dangerous if Zohran Mamdani gets elected. Sliwa can't beat Cuomo, can't beat Mamdani, so just vote for Cuomo. This is not about the betterment of New York. This is not about the betterment of people here in New York. This is about Cuomo is using the Jewish community voting bloc the same way that Mamdani is using the Islamic voting bloc. So a lot of these accounts are saying, you got to beware of taqiyya and jihad. The only taqiyya that's taking place with Mamdani is to the Muslim community who thinks he's one of them. He's not. Now, Cuomo is, of course, not Jewish, but it seems like the Jewish community who repeats the term never again, never again, never again, seems to have forgotten. You have forgotten what Andrew Cuomo did to you, and you have allowed these fear-mongering, pro-Israel, billionaire-backed, Bill Ackman-backed accounts to scare you into thinking that you need to vote for Andrew Cuomo only and not Curtis Sliwa. So it's not about the betterment of the candidate, because if Curtis Sliwa started pulling ahead of Cuomo, you would expect them to say, okay, well, he's the only one who can now beat Mamdani, so put all your efforts into Sliwa. No. They're not doing that, because it's not what it's about. It's about using the Jewish community to get Cuomo elected by voting bloc. And we have seen Ina Vernikov and Dov Heikind, who I personally didn't realize I was in a group chat with, and I confronted him about this, and I called him a very nasty name in Yiddish, in Hebrew, but he deserves it, because any Jewish leader who is telling you to vote for Andrew Cuomo is a Mosa. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. There's a very important aspect of this campaign that I maybe should have exposed a little bit earlier, but better late than never. We still have time till election day, and you guys still have time to change your votes. Medical tyranny in New York State. Now, Andrew Cuomo is the architect of the lockdowns and the mandates. He is the one who took Jews to court to force them to shut down their synagogues, shut down their communities, shut down their minions, and be locked in their homes, which is something that the Jewish community wasn't very fond of. I had somebody tell me how Sliwa said something about the IDF boot on the neck. Listen, Cuomo put the boot of the NYPD and of the state on the necks of every single Orthodox Jew in New York who had to hide by blacking out their buses and hiding the fact that they were still meeting as a community. He shut down your synagogues with force. He shut down your weddings. He is not a friend of the Jewish people. Now, I like to humor people. So I said to Dov Heikind, and I said to Jim Walden, and I said to other people who are close to Andrew Cuomo, listen, if he wants to be taken seriously, ask him to announce, if he will announce that he will drop the appeals against the 16 DSNY employees, myself included, who filed Garvey et al. Versus New York City. We declared the vaccine mandate arbitrary and capricious because when Eric Adams issued Executive Order 62, he exempted celebrities, actors, athletes, performers, and their entourages, anyone who, quote, makes money for the city. Because they realized that if they mandated celebrities take the vaccine, you were not going to go watch a football game where your MVPs were sitting out. You're not going to go watch a Broadway show if you knew that the star was not going to be able to perform. But they knew you would take a vaccine to go watch your unvaccinated players and unvaccinated performers. Now, under Eric Adams' Executive Order 62, which Andrew Cuomo seems to have had no problem with, basketball players, a stripper, and her pimp would all have been exempted from the same vaccine mandate that got me fired, that forced thousands and thousands of people to violate my body, my choice, and their bodily, religious, and moral autonomy to take a vaccine that they didn't need. It was all about force. Now, the reason why this case is very important is because very few people are aware of this, but Garvey et al. Is the very last legal roadblock New York State has to all-out medical tyranny. So this is a message not just for the Jewish community, who sure I hope is perking up their ears at the moment, but also wider New York. There are no more religious exemptions in New York State. There are no more religious exemptions in New York State. Hochul got quarantine camps legalized. Quarantine camps are now legal in New York. Hochul took her 3 tries, but a Western court got that done. And the case that got rid of the religious exemptions came from the Western New York court against with the Amish. So medical tyranny is a very important aspect of this campaign that a lot of people are not talking about. And as of now, when Zohran Mamdani went on The Finest Unfiltered, he agreed that we got fired justifiably, and he would not rescind the vaccine mandates and drop the appeals. He believes in medical tyranny. Andrew Cuomo, the architect of medical tyranny, still believes in medical tyranny, because if Dov Hikind and Jim Walden could not asked him personally, if they did, to comment on Garvey and to drop the appeals on us, well, if he didn't do it and he's not interested in doing it, well, what does that mean? The state does not want to lose its ability to lock you down and mandate you again. And if some Meshuggah court decides to overturn Garvey, chas v'sholom, on some stupid technicality, New York State will officially be under medical tyranny. Meaning they can come to if you're a city worker, they can say, or you're even a private employee, because don't forget, private workers were mandated under the mandate. They can say to you, take this vaccine or you'll lose your job. Oh, but I want to, nope, no religious exemptions anymore. Oh, but this is no, it's not. Celebrities can be exempted from it. Medical tyranny is inches away. Curtis Sliwa is the only candidate running for office for the mayoral candidacy that will drop the appeals on the Garvey case, reinstate and compensate, and stop fighting all the unvaccinated employees. The reason why they don't want to drop the appeals, Mamdani and Cuomo, is because they don't want to they don't want the state to lose its ability to do this again. So all you people talking about Cuomo is the only one who can save us from Mamdani, the two of them are exactly the same, and medical tyranny is one of them. It's one of them. It's a major issue that they are both lockstep on. And if, God forbid, they decide they overturn Garvey, I can assure the Orthodox Jewish community he will shut down your synagogues, he will shut down your minions, he will shut down your shuls once again. And I want to also bring up another point, because there's a lot of pro-Israel accounts pushing this nonsense, including AIPAC people pushing this Cuomo. Basically what happened was, this is not a Jewish conspiracy, so please don't be saying nonsense like that. Cuomo took advantage of the fact that Mamdani is connected to all these groups, and he is doing to the Jewish community what Mamdani is doing to the Muslim community. Mark my words on this, for all you pro-Israel people who are voting for Cuomo because you have to stop because Mamdani's BDS or whatever. The base of the Democratic Party is now nearly solid DSA, nearly solidly progressive. Okay? They are pro-Gaza. So we know that Cuomo flip-flops. So what's going to happen if he gets elected to the mayor's office, and something heats up again in West Bank and Gaza, or in Israel, whatever? It heats up again. What's going to happen when the city council or the city government turns around and says, we're not doing anything until you condemn Israel. We're not doing anything until you condemn or BDS. What's going to happen? He will do exactly what he's told, because he's not running for office for the betterment of New York City. He is running for office to revive and resurrect his dead political career. And if kowtowing to the DSA is what he needs, and don't forget, the only reason we have Mamdani is because we've had Cuomo. If kowtowing to the DSA is what he has to do to ensure the future of his political career, whether it's governor or president, whatever nonsense he thinks, he will do it. So he is not a friend of the Jews. He is not a friend of Israel. He is not a friend of anybody but the billionaires that are backing him. And the same billionaires backing him are the same billionaires backing Mamdani. There is a reason why Trump is telling Sliwa to drop out. Sliwa is the only anti-establishment candidate. He is the only candidate who is not working on behalf of the billionaires. He is not paying shill accounts. He has his word and his reputation that he is working by. So, let me sum this up for you, because this is very important. Medical tyranny is one court case away from reality in New York State. And the only candidate running for mayor who is going to stop this medical tyranny from happening is Curtis Sliwa. And the Jewish community, who was tormented and abused by Andrew Cuomo, is being used as a voting bloc. And your leaders are not looking out for your best interest. I am telling you that right now. Any rabbi who supports Cuomo is a Mosa. And I will say it outright. Being a rabbi is a teaching credential. It is not a think and make decisions for me credential. You have to look at what if your rabbi is involved in real estate, then that makes a lot more sense why he wants Cuomo. This is not what you should be voting on. You need to vote on the reality of the situation that your five senses give you. New York is in a lot of trouble if either Mamdani or Cuomo get elected. You are being pandered to. You are being lied to, and you are being used to help Andrew Cuomo resurrect his dead political career. And it will come back to bite you. I will assure you of that. So I have links that I can show you for how he is responsible for attacks on Jews skyrocketing. He tormented Jews during COVID, and I can assure you, the next time they decide to declare another virus outbreak, he will lock you back down. He will shut down your schools. He will shut down your synagogues. Just like he will shut down churches, and he will shut down mosques. The Jewish community of New York City has to look at what Andrew Cuomo already did to New York State. He is not a good person, and he is no different than Mamdani. And nobody can even Dov Hikind couldn't tell me how Cuomo is different than Mamdani, because he's not. All I know is they're all getting something out of it. And if your rabbis are telling you to vote for the guy who put a boot on your necks during COVID, then your rabbi is a Mosa. And you should ask him why he supports a guy who hates Jews and is only using you for your voting bloc. Look, I'm going to keep this at 15 minutes. I'm already saying enough. I have given up being sympathetic and trying to care about the feelings of others. Cuomo is a dangerous man, no different than Mamdani. There is only one person running for mayor who actually has the interests of everybody, and the best interests of everybody in mind, and that is Curtis Sliwa. Curtis Sliwa is also the only candidate running for mayor who will stop medical tyranny in New York. One court case. That's it. Garvey et al. Versus New York City. Chas v'sholom, this case is overturned. I promise you, you will not be exempted from whatever Andrew Cuomo decides to do the next time around. Because if he did it once, he will do it again. Good night, everybody.